Bam.
Right.
Yo, I just want to start by saying one of the reasons why the sport is so beautiful is because guys like Rob Font can come in, start martial arts at the age of 20 when he was like a pizza delivery boy beforehand, and come and beat someone with a high wrestling background and a high boxing amateur background like Cody Garbrandt, and also a former champion.
Yes.
This is why the sport of MMA is so beautiful. That fight had me thinking that I could start learning like mixed martial arts right now and go be the champion in the bantamweight division. So kudos to Rob Font. His
Absolutely.
jab was working. His jab was working perfectly, like all night. He made adjustments like to the wrestling, like when he needed to, like after the first two rounds. Man, he looked clean. He had the better pressure. Like, what did you guys think about it?
I think it was his patience more than anything that won him that won him everything more than just a victory. You know, like because when you come against a guy like Cody Garbrandt, most people, especially your first main event, you're gonna want to make a statement. I like the fact that he calmed himself down. He had Cody hurt multiple times, and the argument can be made. Maybe he could have been more aggressive, but why? You know, this is one. He proved to himself that he can go 5 rounds easy, easy. That was his first 5 round fight, first main event. You could imagine he's fighting Cody Garbrandt, a man that could put your lights out in point 0.2 seconds and has all the skill a man could want. He's nervous. You know he's nervous. I felt the nervousness, but nervous is good if you harness it correctly.
Yeah.
And I think he did everything correctly. He took his time. He worked that jab because Cody's jab. They keep saying Rob's jab was the best in MMA. I was like, put some respect on Kamaru Usman's name, please. Are you crazy? But Cody Garbrandt's jab is insane. He didn't win the fight, but I still think his jab is better than Rob's. His jab is so snappy and punchy and quick. You don't see it coming. Every time Rob looks like he knows about to hit him with, and he goes because Cody just hit him with another jab like out of nowhere. Cody's jab is so sneaky, and that's where all that came from. Because Cody took him down multiple times, yes, but what's not spoken about enough is bottom control. Like he controlled Cody really well on the ground. Like he didn't take much damage at all. He's controlling his arms well. He was sneaking out well. Most of that damage came from Cody's jab. Cody's jab is phenomenal, but it just solidifies my belief in Rob Font. I cannot wait for his next fight. He's a real problem, and he's only getting better, like we always say. So he's still young in the sport. It's insane. My only question is who's next. That division is kind of like everybody's kind of got to fight. So
Yeah, that division is stacked for sure, and Rob Font has always been great. So the opportunity, maybe if it arrives earlier, who knows if he would have been prepared for it. But I feel like the timing is perfect now as well because of his mentality, the way he thinks, the way he approaches fighting, and overall, he's very modest. He takes in a lot of information. He learns from the coaches. He listens well. So he's like the perfect fighter as well, the coach, and you can hear that during the fight. The amount of composure he had was impressive. First 5 round main event versus an ex former champion. He gets cracked a few times. He stays composed. He does not get into the brawling situations. He notices that Cody tries to bait him a few times. He steps back, takes a breather. All right, nah, it's not happening. Come on, let's go. And masterful performance. That kind of fight makes you really appreciate martial arts and being a fan of martial arts. Cody had his moments as well, but it seemed like Cody wasn't prepared for the pressure, and also too, Cody's used to hurting guys in a different kind of way. Rob was taking those shots, taking them and recovering from them and keeping composed. So beautiful performance. Rob Font, that division is so stacked. I can't really say what's next and if he'll be champion. I can't speak on that, but the great job.
I'll tell you what. I kind of like the matchup between him and Piotr Jan, because both of them are boxing heavy, and he's longer than Piotr Jan. He's not afraid. I know he's not going to fight scared. So I like the matchup for him against Piotr Jan. Not saying that he'll necessarily win, but I like his chances though. I really do. Now against a guy like Sandhagen or Dillashaw, that's a different story because these guys mix it up insanely. You know what I mean? But I do like the matchup with him and Petr Yan out of everyone.
I'm looking at the division now, and I'm saying to myself, you know, obviously Petr Yan is going to fight Aljamain next. It has to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Take Hollywood out the picture and let's get a fight going, right? Then TJ Dillashaw is gonna knock this guy out, right? Then it's just like what you wrote. I see a fight. Rob Font versus Jose Aldo sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes,
Another big name for him to test himself against. You know, ex-champion, all the skill in the world, looks phenomenal in bantamweight. And because you can imagine the winner of Dillashaw Sandhagen is probably going to get the crack at the time. I think we can comfortably say that.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
So why not? Him versus Jose will solidify him as the next guy.
Well,
At the very least.
I believe Jose has a fight already.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Against who?
Not really sure against who, but yeah.
I'll say this. I definitely would recommend another good fight. What's his name? Sean O'Malley versus Cody coming off this loss.
Yes.
I think that's gonna make all the sense in the world. Like for like his next fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Cody coming off a loss. He already went against like Pedro Munoz, Sun Sao. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. You got the rising star
Yeah.
against sort of a I wouldn't say Cody's as a falling star, but he hasn't really had like consistency like that. Like he lost to Dillashaw twice, then lost to Pedro Munoz, then knocked out a Sun Sao, then he lost again. So I think it kind of makes sense, you know, to see him match up against a guy like O'Malley.
Yeah, Cody's kind of stuck in a weird purgatory right now. You know, like at one point he was the most feared guy. I mean, what he did to Dominic Cruz was one of the single greatest performances I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was unbelievable. And, you know, then he gets, you know, knocked out, and then makes a decent comeback. And then now he's not even getting knocked down. Now he's getting decision now. So,
yeah, I mean,
that's the tough part about it. If he got knocked out again, then we can make the case, oh, his jaw and this and that. I thought was cracking him and he was taking he still got a jaw. So now the question is, now he's getting decisioned, you know? So by a pizza delivery guy, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, see, you can't reduce Rob Font to a pizza delivery.
But it's a real. For me, it's the fact that he lost by decision means more than anything. That's the scary part for Cody.
You know? Well, you know what? The Big Spring made a good point. He said that Cody had COVID pretty bad. So as far as you know, overall, he had the recovery process was pretty hard for him. Not only that, but he's been inactive, the injuries. So that's also why he's been in weird spots because a lot of he hasn't been fit to fight for a long period of time. He's injured a lot too. So who knows what's next for Cody Garbrandt?
I would say it's more the injuries than the COVID. I think so.
Yeah,
I think because the COVID hit Leon Edwards far worse than anybody, and Leon Edwards looked amazing. Leon Edwards lost like 15 pounds during that process. Yeah, real bad.
But also too, this is why I love MMA. There's so many great prospects. It's like so unpredictable now. There's so many people coming up, so many rising stars, so many people who maybe sucked back then but are finally finding their win now. There's so much going on at once that is very exciting to see the matchups to be made in the future.
I'm so like ready for all this, and I hope Dana sees this and doesn't hold up these divisions anymore, like the lightweight division. We said this the last podcast. It pisses me off what he did with that lightweight division. It needs to stop.
Yeah.
Let's get these contenders rolling. I get you want to make money fights, but you ain't making them right now, homie. So let's go. Let's keep it pushing, you know? You got to make money fights, you got to make money people. You got to make stars.
Yeah.
This is what you're the best at. And it's almost like he stopped because he has like 2 or 3 guys that he can market and he's not seeing the money in these guys. Like Rob Font could be a huge star. He's well-spoken, handsome dude, got a great backstory, funny, and he's powerful. Like, I mean, these are the type of people you want to look into.
Yeah.
So I just want these divisions to roll. I want to see the best fighting the best. This is what makes the UFC not boxing. This is what makes the UFC better than boxing. Is the fact that we get the best of the best. Our odds are like +1, -1, whatever.
Yeah.
Where boxing is +5 fucking thousand or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is what makes the UFC the
Yeah.
best. It's the best fighting the best. This is what we want. Yes, we like characters. We like personalities. Let's get these fighters rolling, man. Sorry, I had to let that go.
Nah, what's the update on what's his name, Aljamain Sterling? Did he get the surgery yet, and how long is the expected like recovery and all that type of stuff?
He definitely got the surgery. He's gonna be out for a little bit.
Yeah,
so we're talking
I think
about
it was
like
neck surgery, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure.
It might have,
but it was-
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was. Now a recovery for that, and you add a camp to that. We're talking about like a possible year from now. Possibly.
The way Aljamain, I don't remember exactly, but in the post that he put up, he didn't make it sound like he was going to be out for long. I think it's a few months recovery, few months in the thing. So I would say maximum 6 months from the surgery.
That he'd be fighting from now. 6 months
From the surgery.
from now, he'll be fighting
From the surgery was
from surgery.
almost a month ago now, maybe. So maybe we
Okay.
got another 5 months. I don't know, but that brings up a good point. Why we can throw an interim title in there? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
When does Dillashaw and Sandhagen fight? Do you remember? Is it
If
soon?
if I'm not mistaken, next month.
Next month? Yeah. So, yeah.
Wait, is it in July or is it in June or July?
It
I
could.
think it's next month.
Could
I don't
be
think
July,
they would have
though.
pushed it back to July. Did they?
Let me check. And also
They
Aldo's
pushed it back to
fighting.
July. That's a travesty.
Yeah. And Aldo's fighting Pedro Munoz.
Because me and Rose's friendship is on the line for that fight. You need to.
That's a fact.
Uh,
Oh yeah, but by the way, bars are starting to open, so I feel like by then bars will be open till
Yes.
like 1 a.m.
This is major for the Beauty and Violence podcast. We need to watch these things together. I need to feel the vibe. And I need to Shane Rose once DJ Dillashaw.
Which card is that
Man.
on? The Dillashaw.
I want all the smoke. I'm here for all the smoke. Just like Matt Barnes and what's his name's podcast.
Sources: UFC targeting July 24th.
July, yep.
Dillashaw Sandhagen.
See, that's a minute from now.
Yeah.
So why not? I'm saying right now, like, I guess it's just too soon to say because he just fought, but like, interim title fight between Jan and maybe Rob Font. Why not? I think depending like on how long Aljamain's going to be out, we 100% need an interim belt. I think.
Yeah, but I don't think you could leapfrog Dillashaw and Sandhagen.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying.
know what I'm
Like,
saying?
I was trying to think like the time frame. So July 24th, it'll be about 2 months from this fight. That means we have to like people like Rob and whoever else is gonna have to wait those 2 months to find out who's gonna win that fight. And then what if the person who won the fight got super injured? Now there's like it's one of those things where it's just like let's just keep the ball rolling. What's the difference? The winner of that fight is still gonna fight for the belt the same way. Why not just keep the ball rolling? These guys are ready to fight. These guys are looking for a belt. Jan definitely wants his belt back. He'll take an interim belt for the hell of it. Why not? Rob will definitely step up to that challenge. Why not?
No, I think Rob would do it. I just don't think Jan is gonna take that fight.
Yeah, I agree actually.
For an interim, I think he would. Just to not sit around. Jan, look at Jan's Twitter. He wants to smoke, bro.
Nah, he do.
But he wants all of it.
But he also wants his real belt.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. But if the real belt, no matter what, you have to wait for. I don't see Jan as a type to say, okay, I'll just chill home and wait. I think Jan wants to fight. And if there's a belt in the mix, whether it be an interim or a real belt, I think he's with it. Because interim or regular, you still get the pay-per-view cut. You still get money for it. So it's like, why not?
Possible.
Listen, man, only time will tell.
Put them as a co-main to a huge title fight.
What?
Yeah. All right, let's get into Carla Esparza versus Yan Xiaonao. So I actually had Carla losing last week I believe in the predictions because I assume that Yan would prep mainly for takedown defense. I would assume she knows she's fighting a wrestler, so she's gonna base most of her camp on takedown defense. Because I mean, didn't she fight uh Claudia before?
Mm-hmm. She fought
So
Claudia, yeah.
so you fight Claudia, who's a great wrestler, and you handled it a lot better. Carla, but no shout out Carla. Carla was impressive. Carla was impressive. I'm glad she didn't just lay and pray. She was vicious. She was consistent. She had a plan. She executed. Those elbows were beautiful. The heavy elbows, crucifix. So Carla, I don't care for her because of the whole bullying thing, but great performance.
Here's the thing with Carla. One thing I'll give her credit for is she's one of those fighters in the UFC who is like I would consider to be the most one of the most improved. Like
Yeah,
when she was fighting what's her name? Joanna the first time when she was defending her belt. She was like a deer in headlights. I feel like now since that point, she's improved her striking tremendously. Like her wrestling is even better than it was, and she has a way more active ground and pound. The next thing is like seeing her performance shows you that there's levels to like the whole wrestling thing, and then it's like what age are we living in right now where fighters still don't have like you know solid takedown defense like in 2021 like we're talking about like high level fighters who are at the top of the division. That can't go on for much longer. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're going up against like what would have happened if Yan Xiaonan was going against like a Tatiana Suarez. That would have been a literal homicide.
Yikes.
Like, because you seen what happened when Tatiana Suarez went against Carla Esparza, who's a solid wrestler. Like that was almost uncomfortable to watch. Like what she was doing to Carla Esparza. So I don't know what some of these fighters are doing. Like,
yeah,
So this is the beauty of MMA is like the reason why I think the smartest thing about what Font did was his patience. Smartest thing what Carla did is the complete opposite. She came out guns blazing and went straight to her gut, put her ass on the floor, and she let her know this is where you're going to spend a lot of time today. It was over after that. Carla, shit. Listen, I gave Carla no chance of winning this fight with all her credentials and everything. Yan Xiaonan is just she's a decision beast, and and I said it. I said she was going to decision her. I just thought she was just going to. I thought she was going to control her on the ground. To be honest, I thought she was
really.
going to. Yeah, as weird as that sounds, I don't know why. Carter just shut my ass up. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the most entertaining performance, obviously, but I mean,
But the finish was very
yeah,
entertaining.
it most certainly was. Yeah. But
That
it
crucifix.
was pure and utter domination, and I mean, literally from the bell, she just came straight at her, and she should definitely keep that mentality. Whether the fighter is expecting it or not, if she believes in her wrestling, she knows she's gonna take it down. She should come out every fight with like a fake flying knee and level change and whap, put them on the floor and take away their confidence immediately. I think she could beat most people by doing that. Because that really takes a person's confidence out when you put them on their ass and they can't get up. Anybody.
Yeah, and this is a lesson for a lot of fighters who don't use their strengths, especially for wrestlers. Wrestling usually beats everything, especially if you're really high level. Use your strengths. Don't try to strike with strikers who are better than you. Use what you're good at and dominate that way.
But they see people like John Jones when he fought like a Glover Teixeira and he decided let me just box him. Or when Ronda Rousey fought what's the Brazilian girl's name?
Beth Correira?
Betch Correira.
Bench
Yeah.
Correa, yeah.
Boxed her up, and then they see Usman with this amazing jab who he wasn't that guy before. And they're like it's kind of like that Me Too mentality, like I could do that too.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
beat that, But
That's
people
something
all
special.
did that.
Exactly.
These people all did that when they already got the gold and already got their status, like
Yeah.
get your money, get your belt with your bread and butter that works,
Yeah.
You're right,
Especially,
right,
yeah.
100%.
What did you guys think of? I mean, I'm gonna just say, like, I was very disappointed in Edmund Shabazian's performance. Like, that was like disappointing. Like, I
Who was
thought
the one that said Hermanson by decision?
um, it's some Spanish guy. I don't know. Like, I can't quite remember his name.
Some Spanish guy with long hair and scumbag. Yo,
Yeah,
when he
but-
came back in that second round solid, I was like, please, Jack, win the third round. I want to talk shit.
Damn, I was like,
man.
But okay, though, honestly, though, to be fair, I wasn't disappointed in Edmund so much because he showed that his ground game isn't that bad in the second round. It's just that Jack Hermanson is a scary guy on the ground.
Super scary.
You know, so he's a scary guy, and the intensity he had in that third round, like, you know what? That's it. That's it. I'm going to make a statement now. Like that, those 2 rounds were ass. Now I'm going to show you who I am.
honestly, Edmund Shabazian looked like he had a pretty bright future. Like, when he knocked out Brad Tavares, and like about 1 or 2 rounds of the fight with him again and Brunson, and then since then he's looked less and less like an actual like prospect, you know. So I don't know what the future holds for him. I don't know if he's gonna be able to bounce back, because he seems like one of those fighters who's like getting his ass kicked a little too much too early, and before like his bones even get a chance to like fully develop. You understand what I'm saying? And if those bones are not fully developed and solidified, and you're getting your ass whipped now, like, you're not gonna develop that solid, that solid mentality and solid, you know, chin or whatever.
Yeah, the reason I chose Jack Hermanson by decision is just like I felt like Hermanson felt like he had something to prove, but I think Hermanson kind of wanted to go the distance, low key, and I think that's why I chose him that way. And that first round had me like, oh dear, it was just like I was really like, holy shit. And then he came. I'm watching the second. You know, he's making adjustments. It was still competitive the second round. I think he definitely won it, but it was still competitive. Yeah. And you know, people can say what they want about Shabazian's grappling. I think he looked good, like Jim said. In the second round, I think he was doing well against a guy who's you don't want on top of you. The guy's top control is incredible. His ground and pound is fucking terrifying, you know? But that third round, I don't know what the hell his corner said to him, or like, I don't know. Maybe Jesus came down and spoke to him for a few minutes. My God. How do you like come out with more energy at the end of the fight? That's it. That's just whole concept is incredible to me. It was amazing.
Now I'm still interested in him against Till. Like, now I feel like that fight still would have been a pretty good fight. I was thinking, him against Till. I was favoring Till on that one.
But okay, so with Edmund though, we gotta realize that Shabazian is still very young. He's still very young, so there's still time for him to evolve and grow. And he's showing that he can compete standing up, and his ground game isn't that bad. I think that Dana White has a problem though. Like, sometimes you have to build these young fighters a bit slower. Like, like, don't throw him to the wolves back to back. Like, give
like,
him a,
look what they're doing with O'Malley.
I literally
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, allow him to build back his confidence back up. Don't throw him to these monsters like back to back. You know what I mean?
Like what happened to what happened to the Dana White privilege? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to the Dana White privilege? Like, does it not apply to Edmund Shabazian too?
Even Bellator, MVP. You know, they don't just throw him all animals. You know, the moment he lost to what's his name again? Lima.
Douglas.
Lima. He lost to him. They didn't throw him some like crazy wolf afterwards. They gave him somebody who was good, but somebody to help him build back his confidence. You know, and that tune up, right? And that way you don't take so much damage either. Because a young fella like Edmund, if you keep like, who's next for Edmund? You know what I mean? Paul Costa? Like, who you going to? Like, hey, what's going on? Like, you gotta. You build his confidence back up, throw him somebody.
Paulo Costa.
Like,
nah, that's a good
back
point.
A little bit,
That's a good point, because like what's his name? That was a step up in my opinion in competition. Like him going against the Joker, like after
Yeah,
Brunson, that was a step up in competition, like overall. So
at least.
that didn't make any sense to me. So I could see why Jim would say like like Paulo Costa next.
That was weird.
Who's next for him?
That was weird, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta let the babies like bones develop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Once
but
Wiley
that's
took
but that
over,
but that's
that's a big
also what
fight,
makes.
right?
I guess we can't have it all because like that's also what makes the UFC the best organization in the world. That's what makes them the most elite organization in the world. The fact that
Yeah.
it's literally the survival of the fittest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I wanna touch on this real quick. What do you guys think about Zhang Whaley's excuse of why she lost the fight to Rose? I don't know if you guys heard her excuse.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically her excuse was they were in a they weren't she had a home advantage and they weren't on neutral grounds. That's why she wanted to fight in like a place like Abu Dhabi where there wouldn't be like overwhelming boos
Bulls
and
and all that stuff.
things like that. Like
So
to
she's saying
me,
she lost because the crowd was in favor of her opponent, essentially.
not only she's saying that, but her coach is
Her
saying
coach
that.
mainly are
Eh,
saying that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no accountability on either end, like what like on the fighter or the coach.
So what she's essentially, I mean, this is just me hearing this now. What I'm getting is that you and your team are admitting to a weak mentality.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
this is not the sport to be in if that's what you got, honey. Granted, she's a savage, but like if that is gonna alter your performance in the cage, my God.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So she's fought in hostile territory before, and she's won. Even in her amateur career. So I'm guessing, like, I'm not sure why she would use that excuse. Like, I'm not sure why she would even think to even say that. Even if you feel that way, you know that you're gonna be crucified for even as a fighter when you make that statement. As a fighter, you have to be able to fight at your best, no matter what's going on. The crowd could be booing you; it doesn't matter. At this top level, that shouldn't affect your performance. Not saying that it won't, because we're all human. So maybe someone like distracted her in that moment to where she wasn't as sharp. I don't know, but still, as a if you're going to be a champion, you have to be able to
Lock
not
in.
to lock in and deal with that, because you won't always fight in home turf or neutral ground. You're a fighter, you know.
Yeah, that definitely rubbed me the wrong way because you can literally see the replay and you can see why she got knocked out. That had nothing to do with mental weakness or even if she had mental weakness, it had nothing to do with the crowd. Like that was an amazing feint and she got the left leg cemetery like John
You
always
got
says.
clipped
So
by a better
Yeah,
fighter. That's what
yeah.
happened. Period.
yeah,
That's that. By a better fighter that night.
That night, yeah,
And that's what happened. And then on top of that, then you cut your hair like her and you're saying these things. I don't know. That sounds like a lot of she's going through something. She need to stay her and her team need to stay away from social media and keep it between themselves. Some things you just
You-
don't say publicly.
you know
Yeah.
what I think too? I think the pride of China is like so extreme
yes,
that that some I believe that it's one of those countries like where the pressure is so high to like win things like the Olympics or like
yes,
championships. It's a different type of culture over there. Like the Chinese move like way differently. That's what I'm saying. Like even out of
They
all
took
the
out the
Asians, like
Date
they're the
stick
most intense.
when she went back.
Huh?
Then they took out the
Huh?
Date stick when she went back.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
ass.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
more than
Yes.
that. More than
Yeah.
that.
yeah, yeah. It's sad, but I mean, oh, and also too, breaking news: we have the return of Kevin Lee, and he's fighting Sean Brady, who's an animal. Who's an animal?
Also, he's not fighting Mike Perry because I
no,
thought that was
no,
absolutely I thought that was an absolutely ridiculous call out.
no. He's fighting Sean Brady, who is way more dangerous than Mike Perry.
Sean Brady, Sean Brady, Sean Brady.
He's
I'm
the
trying to
guy.
think of who Sean Brady fought.
Sean Brady has the tattoo of like the
Is he
that.
tall? Is he
No.
kind of is he tall and linky kind of or
Nah.
Sean Brady? I'm gonna look him up.
He's pretty built. He has that
Good
huge
looking cat. He's got a crazy tattoo all over
on his back, yeah, of that demon. The Japanese face mask.
Oh, the dude that's really good on the ground.
Yeah.
And then his back literally looks like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And he's
okay.
undefeated. That guy.
Undefeated.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, granted, he hasn't fought a name like Kevin Lee has, and but I hope. Let me be quiet.
Here's the thing about Kevin Lee.
Jim, you know, I gotta be.
He's like,
I already knew what it was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nah, here's the thing about Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee could compete with any of the flyweights for one round, or the most a round and a half. so like anything is possible inside of a round and a half, but beyond that, like I have zero belief in Kevin Lee.
Hold on. Were you saying what you just said, like realistically, or you were being funny?
No, I was dead ass. Like realistically,
you understand that, right?
Huh?
You said he can compete with any flyweight for a round and a half.
No, not flyweight. No,
that's
I didn't say
literally
flyweight.
what you just said.
I said lightweight. Okay. I meant to say.
You said
I meant
flyweight,
to
and that's why I was just like, oh, I love where this is going.
Nah, he could compete with any lightweight for about a round and a half. Like any lightweight, even the top lightweights. But after beyond that, like I have zero belief. Like everything just goes downhill from there. Like, in my personal opinion.
Let's just be real. Like Kevin Lee has the tools to be the best fighter, to be the champion. Like literally on paper and per his history, he has everything you need in a fighter to be the champion. But for whatever reason, he can't do it. He can't hit that milestone. He can't get past those real names. And then he gets beat, and then says, I could beat Khabib. And it's just like, I'm so tired of hearing him. I'm so tired of hearing from him. I don't want to be that guy, but it's not that I don't know anything about him. I can't say I dislike him. I'm just tired of hearing him say he's the best and he's the champ. He can beat all the best in the world, but you keep losing. Earn your right to say that, my man. I'm a huge Khabib fan. And every time he says he could beat Khabib, I want to spit on the screen I'm watching on. Like it bothers me. And I just want guys like him, especially, to earn your right to say that, because it's disrespectful to be saying the things he says. And I'm just not a fan of him right now. And I'm looking forward to the undefeated Sean Brady to become 15-0.
And my thing is, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, to be fair, Kevin Lee has been out for a long time.
Yes, not long, but longish. Yes.
So we don't know what kind of advancements he's made in training. We don't know his mentality now. We don't know. Maybe he went to, somewhere in Mexico, somewhere like Jorge, and found himself. We don't know what's going on with Kevin Lee. There could be a huge improvement we see.
Now, you know what happened?
Rose like,
he was eating hot wings with some friends, right? And then the water bottle fell off the table and he caught it like Spider-Man. He's like, I'm ready. That's what happened.
Nah, man. Like, listen, man, there's a difference between like being a samurai and like drawing a samurai helmet, like getting a samurai helmet tattooed on your head.
Buying one from Amazon, like
that's what I'm saying. Like getting. I don't care if you tattoo. Yes, you committed to a tattoo. Fine. Yes. Okay. Cool. But that doesn't make you an actual samurai. You understand what I'm saying? You don't earn a shot at Khabib by getting a samurai helmet tattooed on your head either. You understand? So you don't earn that status by doing that. So I don't know, man. Kevin Lee, I think he's one problem that I have with him is like his mental breakdowns. Like he left for a long time before, like for like a year, and he came back and beat Gregor Gillespie. Okay, very impressive. Then he loses to Charles Oliveira, and then he quits again. So that's why he quits again for a year or whatever. So this guy, another thing is that he can't generate like any momentum in that way because of that. And that's why when you say, okay, you never know if he leaves and go finds himself like Jorge, I'm like, nah. He's probably gonna have gonna have another impressive win because Gregor Gillespie was a very impressive win, and then he's gonna probably lose to somebody who's solid again, and then he's probably gonna go away and and cry for a little bit, and then come back again.
I just want Kevin Lee to earn my love again because I was a fan of him back in the day. And when I say my love, I don't mean John's love. I mean the love of every fan that he lost through his nonsense. Because he lost a lot of fans. This ain't like a personal vendetta with me. He lost a lot of fans because he just put a bad taste in people's mouths. Like Connor. Connor's lost a lot of fans because he put a bad taste in their mouth in different ways, but that's just the way it is. So understand that prospect. You fight for you fight for the belt, but the fans are what's gonna make you that money. The fans are the fans are everything in any sport, Earn their love back. Show us that you're the guy that we thought you was in the beginning. Stop talking shit. Get back to the basics. Fight. Do it fight by fight and work your way through it. Do it cerebral like Tyron Woodley used to do it before he started laying on the cage. Like be cerebral about it.
Yeah.
I want to make this clear. I want Kevin Lee to succeed. I don't want any of these guys to fail. He's just gave me a bad taste in my mouth with all the disrespectful bullshit comments he does, and I'm over it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the business of trash talk and everything, I mean, everybody wants to like be a part of that, for the views and attention. So
he sucks at it, and he's trash talking after he gets knocked out. Like, stop it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The press conference between him and Chiesa was pretty funny.
That was a good one. That was
pretty funny.
Yeah.
His mom's got tickets. His mom's got tickets. Yeah,
but Chiesa's also terrible at shit talking. So terrible.
It wasn't so much the trash talk as it was just the action of that press conference. Like the action of that, like just seeing Kevin Lee like charge at him with like a right, like that was just like so black right there. Like we're not like he was in his mind, he was in Detroit, like that was like the blackest thing you could do in a press conference.
Oh my God. He says the blackest thing.
No, that's literally the blackest thing you could do at a press conference.
Yo, do I remember? Am I bugging or do I remember reading a story that Chiesa might get the next title shot?
Yeah, I heard something like that.
Don't get me wrong.
Man.
Don't get me wrong. Before anything, I'm a Chiesa fan. I think Chiesa is a lot of talent. But man, you talk about throwing Guppy into a motherfucking Shark Tank, my man. Jesus Christ. Woo!
I think there were definitely better options. Like he could have waited. I mean, he wants to be like really active right now. So I think the only person that's like available right now is the guy with one of the longest winning streaks, and that's Chiesa.
I don't know.
But
All American Steel's been waiting. I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Kobe, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that again. Yeah, he broke his jaw and everything, but Kobe was putting it to him.
No, I want to. That's what I wanted. I want to see that, but I don't know. He seems to have he seems to still have kind of like a disdain for Colby. Like he didn't earn his way back to the title shot. That's
I'm
what
100%
Usman's saying.
with him.
Yeah,
100% with him.
but
Yeah,
Chiesa,
he fought Tyron Woodley, but like, I'm gonna be right. I'm a fan of him. But what does that mean these days?
yeah.
It means that you had a punching bag that laid on the fucking cage. That's pretty much what it means.
Listen. To be honest, if Chiesa even wins a round, I will bring a crack whore prostitute on air and give her a rim job.
Jesus Christ!
If he wins a round,
a round. I didn't know where Jim was gonna go with that. Like,
Yeah, I was just like, I heard crack, and I was like,
it just kept going further and further, and then at the end was the explosion.
listen. Does anyone here think that Chiesa has any chance at all?
Nah.
Like,
let me see. The only way that he can possibly win, which is what he's good at, is something that nobody can do to Usman, and that's through top control and ground and pound. Because Chiesa's really, really good at that.
yeah.
But is he that type of good to get the Nigerian nightmare on his back?
Nah.
Hell no.
No.
I not only do I think Usman finishes him early, And that's not a disrespect to Chiesa. That's just you fighting. That's the GOAT right there right now, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all know,
And
know I'm a John Jones fan. But Usman right now is the GOAT. He's the active GOAT. Nobody's better. Nobody.
And you know what? I can't remember a time where Chiesa has finished like an opponent with like hands or feet, like with any kind of striking, like on the feet.
Twice, maybe, yeah.
If I remember correctly, he's submission heavy, right? Like he's really good.
He is.
Yeah, submissions. But I don't remember him like really like finishing people on the feet, or ever.
No.
But
damn, or ever. I see.
But yeah,
one
man.
TKO on his record, and it was a loss to Joe Logan.
See, there you go.
Oh, it was a doctor stoppage. Doctor stoppage.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is submission of the.
So he's literally the opposite. So next fight card. Is there a fight card next weekend?
Yes.
And
No. It's one
Not next
after.
weekend.
Yeah.
The 5th.
The 5th. Yeah.
Oh, so no card next weekend.
Nope.
No.
Wow.
Weekend
Okay.
Oddly enough.
All right. I got to make some phone calls.
No,
Anyway,
but the next card is interesting. It's like a hardcores card
Yep.
because there's no real, astronomical name. But if you're a hardcore fan, you know who these guys are.
This is a solid card, actually.
It's not a
Solid
bad
card.
at all.
And also, there are some bets you can win bigger on this card as well.
Yes.
So, very
You got
solid card.
Rosenstrike. You got Walt Harris and Martin Tibera. You got De Chirico versus Dolidze, which is a pretty damn good fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Miguel
he's back.
Baeza.
who's he fighting?
Miguel Baeza.
Who's
Okay.
the scary dude as well?
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I sounded like I was crying. It's not a bad card for a hardcore.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Or for a regular person, but you gotta know who these guys are. So
Got you.
it's not bad.
Yeah, man. And then after that is, I'm assuming, is the pay-per-view.
June 12th.
Yes.
All right, I'm here for all of it.
That freaking card, that just the three, they can have just those 3 fights and I pay for it. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, that's a
You
fact.
have literally one of the rematches to one of the greatest fights you've ever seen. You got Nate Diaz coming back to actually fight probably the best contender in all weight classes in Leon Edwards, which is insane to me. I am super curious to see how Nate Diaz fights that. Because he couldn't beat Jorge Masvidal on the feet,
Yeah.
and most certainly Leon's going to take him to the ground. I think if Leon Edwards handles him on the ground, it should be Nate Diaz's retirement fight. I don't think he should come back, in my opinion. But yeah, and then you got another rematch to another great split decision fight. So that's gonna be one hell of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Brandon Moreno and what's his name?
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Figueiredo,
first one.
right?
What I'm talking about is Adesanya and Vittori.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then Moreno and Figueiredo, one of the best fights we've ever fucking seen. And just the whole mystery behind Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards gives me goosebumps. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm actually more excited for that one. I'm gonna be real, just because of the mystery of it.
Yeah, to be honest, my early prediction is that Leon Edwards handles him in every aspect of MMA. That's what I predict. Hopefully, it's a good back and forth. But
And let's keep in mind, it's a 5-round fight.
5-round fights, yeah, that's true.
Doesn't make any sense, but
Yeah,
Nah, Nate Diaz wanted to make it a freaking triathlon.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But you know what the crazy shit is that you get paid the same amount. Why would you want to fight 2 more rounds?
Maybe
He wants
needs
the
to-
advantage. He wants to use his cardio as a weapon, like he's always used in his
get
career.
Yeah, but Leon's not gonna fade. Leon's not gonna fade.
Nope. Not the
Man,
slightest bit.
he literally just survived COVID. I mean,
That's a whole fact, though. The way he puts it, he literally just.
yeah, man, and not just COVID, but like a near-death experience.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I don't know if the Stockton slap is gonna be the thing to you know what I mean? So yeah, but anyway, it's been real. See you guys
2 weeks.
a couple of weeks from now. Next card.
All right.
We out.
Peace
Hopefully,
out.
New York opens up so we can start getting busy out here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
will.
We will see.
All right,
All
my
right.
boys.